Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Weekly Shorts. This is something that started last week. I had teased about it in a few videos prior to all this. Uh, I'm going to try to make one of these shorts every week. If I miss one, please don't hurt me. Uh, but what we're going to do today is actually show you how to install a CPU into a motherboard. I have an AMD and an Intel, so we're going to try to show you both. Also, this video is for people that are just starting out and have no clue what they're doing, so hopefully this will help them out a little bit on installing CPUs and actually installing thermal paste. Also, I'm going to hint around on what you need if you want to change your thermal paste as well. And that's why we have I always get this wrong, the isopropyl alcohol. You want to get some of this, some paper towels, some Q-tips, and obviously your thermal paste. I'm actually going to show you in the video 3 methods on how to apply this to your CPU. The dot, which is the little piece size, the X, and then the 3 lines, and it actually turned out to look like a 3 or an E or what have you in the video. But I'm actually going to show you how it spreads as well when you're putting your AIO on or your heatsink, and the distribution of the paste on the CPU. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start this up. And also, what I want to mention as well, if you have any ideas for me on these weekly shorts, or if you want to contact me for anything, you can actually find me at cpptech2020@yahoo.com. I'll put it right here. And also, if you want, you can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at cpp_tech. I'll put that somewhere around here. So let's go ahead and get this started. So we're going to do the AMD one first. Okay. So if you're not familiar with AMD actually has their pins on the CPU itself. So you see all those sparkly things, see the pins? The pins are actually on the CPU itself. Now, when you go to install this, there's actually if you look, there's a little triangle right here. I don't know if you see it or not. A little triangle right here. So now, if you actually look at the motherboard, I'll get it somewhat closer. Yeah, if you look at the motherboard, there's actually a triangle. That thing focus on you or not. There's a triangle right there. So what you want to do is actually line up that triangle with the triangle on the CPU. Okay, so before you put this on, there's a lever here. So you want to put this up, and then the CPU should just drop right in. Get a little bit of a thing. Woo. Now it's in there. It's locked in place. So that's all there is to that. So on your Intel CPUs, and I'll show you on the motherboard here in a minute when we swap that over. This is an i7 9700K. But as you can tell, there's no pins on this one. The pins are on the motherboard itself. So what I want to do is we're actually going to take the motherboard out of here, and we're going to install the CPU for the Intel board. So I've never opened this one up yet. This is for a future build, brand new. I'm pulling this out for you guys so we can demonstrate how to install a CPU on the Intel side as well. Now that other one I had, it was an older AMD. That was actually, if you recognize it, was from the retro build. So now Intel's a little bit different. If you notice, on the AMD side, the levers facing the I/O shield, and the Intel is facing down towards the M.2s and stuff. So there's, same again, there's a lever here. Just pull it up, and that thing comes out. There is a guard on here. Just leave that guard on there. It'll pop off. I don't know if you can get a good look at it. The pins are actually on the motherboard for Intel. So again, remember the triangle I showed you before on the AMD board? There's a triangle right there. And on this CPU, there's a triangle right there. Don't get it confused with this one, because people will. It's actually a triangle right there. And it'll line up with that triangle there. And all you do is just slide it in there. Go. And then pop that down. So whenever you push down this lever, when you push down this lever, this guard will pop off. Now there's a screw here. You see these notches? You gotta make sure that it goes into that screw. Now there's gonna be some tension. Okay? You're not gonna break it. And now you're in. See how it popped off? And now you're good to go. So the first application we're going to do is the dot. It's a little piece size. Right in the middle, best you can. What we're going to do is try to demonstrate how well this spreads. Might need just a little bit more. Okay. So those are traditional standard one. You got the X and the 3 lines. See how that one spreads out pretty good. Right, so the next one we're going to do is the cross pattern. It's one you saw when we did the retro build. So they start at one corner, a thin line to another corner, and go ahead and go to the other corner, and this corner. So what we want is to get it as evenly as possible on the CPU when it spreads. All right, so the third way we're going to do today is 3 lines. So we're going to put 1 line on bottom here, 1 in the middle, and 1 on the bottom. And now it looks like an E. E for everybody. Alright, so let's see how this one spreads. So far the X is the winner. Okay, so that thermal paste, that was pretty interesting, I thought. When we did the piece-size dot, I would have thought that one was spread better than the other two. The X and the 3 lines, it's almost a tie on those two. But let me know what you think about that. Now, I do want to tell you, I did it on the AMD card, and that AMD card, as you've seen, is a little bit bigger than the Intel. So the amount of paste that you're going to use is going to determine on what CPU you are using. So just keep that in mind. But that was a pretty cool little glimpse on seeing how it actually spreads whenever you put your heat sink or your cooler on. I found it interesting. So if you like this video, throw a subscribe. If you have any questions or any ideas for the Wednesdays, I know we talked about it at the beginning, but if you have any ideas, send me an email. It'll be at cpptech2020@yahoo.com. I'll put it back on here, and I'll put a link down below as well, hopefully, if I can figure it out. So thank you for watching. That's it for me today. Don't forget, retro build's coming, part 3. So stay tuned for that. Have a good day. Take care.